Freeroute. Increasing options for airspace users. As an answer to the increasing demands of the aviation sector, the European Commission launched the Single European Sky Initiative. One of the first steps was to create functional airspace blocks, FABs. One of these FABs is called FABEC. FABEC incorporates the airspace of Belgium, France, Germany, Luxembourg, the Netherlands and Switzerland. It is the FAB which is facing the highest demand and complexity in Europe. Today, the service quality within the FABEC airspace is good. For decades, aviation has been the safest means of transportation. About 96% of all flights are on time. In addition, aircraft are minimizing their environmental footprint caused by fuel burn by flying very close to the optimal route. The current airspace has a fixed route structure, consisting of thousands of civil air routes, safeguarding both the accessibility of European airports and the connectivity worldwide. The Freeroute concept stands in sharp contrast to the current system. Today's route structure will be replaced by a set of points where the aircraft enters and exits the airspace, with the objective to increase the routing options. At first glance, the concept may look quite easy, but there are major aspects like the availability of ATC capacity, the balance of civil and military interest, or the accessibility of European airports which have to be considered. The basic idea of Freeroute airspace is for pilots to plan their flight paths based on their requirements, and by using fixed entry and exit points only. This allows airlines to plan their preferred routing as their options are increasing significantly. There are three basic conditions to be fulfilled. Firstly, safety has to be ensured. Secondly, the individual needs of airlines have to be balanced to the needs of all airspace users. To ensure this, traffic flows could be structured via intermediate waypoints. Thirdly, special airspaces such as military airspaces have to be respected by deviating around. FABEC airspace includes several military training airspaces. If training is taking place, these airspace blocks are reserved for the military, meaning that civil aircraft have to deviate around them. If a military airspace is not in use, air traffic controllers can coordinate direct routings on short notice. In daily practice, thousands of such shortcuts are provided to pilots when the aircraft is airborne. Despite this gain, these tactical directs have two negative aspects. On the cost side, pilots have to plan for more fuel than needed. For the air navigation service providers, the predictability of traffic partially deteriorates. To overcome this issue, civil and military partners implemented conditional routes. These routes are available for civil aircraft if the military doesn't need the training area, either for a certain stretch of time or with regard to the vertical or horizontal extension. Accurate and timely planning actually increases predictability and capacity. In a Freeroute environment, those conditional routes would disappear. They will be replaced by an enhanced flexible use of airspace, combining flexible military airspace volumes with the basic principle of planning a flight from entry to exit points. However, structural needs and limitations have to be respected. One main difference between the current system and the future one is that the airspace is laterally divided into two layers. European legislation has planned to implement Freeroute airspace above 9,500 meters. Below this altitude, the current route structure will remain. To ensure a safe and smooth handover between these two layers, dedicated waypoints for arrivals and departures at the boundaries between both airspaces will be implemented. In some areas of the FABEC, the Freeroute concept will be extended to the airspace above 7,500 metres. In the meantime, the Freeroute concept has been established in several areas across Europe, where there is little congestion due to high traffic demand. In the complex airspace of FABEC, a step-by-step approach has been chosen that will ensure safety for the aircraft crew and their passengers without concession. In addition, structural limitations might be required to provide the capacity needed. FABEC ANSPs have developed a dedicated roadmap for this. To gain experience, Freeroute airspace implementation will start in areas with low traffic at night and afterwards at the weekend. Based on the structure of the airspace, structural limited implementation will follow, based on dedicated rules and procedures. Subsequently, the concept will be enhanced in phases to full-day operations. Not only does Freeroute airspace increase the flight path options for airspace users, experts also calculate overall annual savings of up to 576,000 tonnes of fuel, equating to 564 million euros. This means that CO2 emissions from aircraft will be reduced by up to 1.92 million tonnes. FABEC. We are working together to keep the skies safe.